In the inky depths of the deep violent time vortex hurtled the Navy Doctor's Tardis, swirling through the currents of space and time. The blue police box looked like a candle flickering through a violent and damaging hurricane. Inside this blue police box, the Navy Doctor was multitasking, fixing a particular bothersome malfunction in the TARDIS's navigation system, whilst also reading a book, specifically The First Men in the Moon by H.G. Wells. Fascinated by the plot, the Doctor worked for endless hours, fixing the navigation system whilst also being invested and drawn into the book line by line. It was fair to say that the Doctor was paying more attention to the book rather than his trusty time machine. The TARDIS groaned towards the Doctor, making him alert to his surroundings and bringing him back to reality. Sorry, old girl, got slightly distracted there. The Doctor picked up a pair of pliers. He then reached into the console, picking up a selection of multiple thin copper wires. Now, which one is it? The Doctor meddled through all of them to see any difference. Nothing to notice, and thinking it would add a difference, he took out his brainy specs, hoping it would help in some shape or form. Not you. I've got a sense it's not you either. Could be you, but I don't trust my guts fully. He rummaged through all the copper wires multiple times, and finally noticed that there was no difference between them. It was a game of chance. Who knows what could happen? But the Doctor was not keen to find out at all. I'm not a fan of this. I'm gonna have to guess, aren't I? With each TARDIS sound getting louder and louder, the Doctor chose one of the wires and cut it. He backed away, thinking he fixed everything. Baz's optimism took over, and preparing to get back into the world of H.G. Wells, everything shut off. Definitely wasn't that wire then. The Navy Doctor rushed to the console, pressing a variety of buttons and moving multiple fancy controls. But as the TARDIS was shut off, there was no response to his actions. Even the time rotor stopped circulating, and the Doctor became more apparent that this could potentially be a power cut. So, in a plan of short action, he went round to a specific side of the main console and pressed the power restart. Nothing worked. This was starting to get a lot more serious. No power, and a violent time vortex swirling outside was a ticking bomb waiting to go off. The Navy Doctor decided that maybe he could go find more answers outside the main console room. He walked towards the door on the other side of the console room, and he pushed against it, but there was no movement. It was like he was pushing against the brick wall. Time was on the clock, and as something the Doctor couldn't waste, he decided to take more dangerous plans into action. He thought maybe if he could get energy from the time vortex itself into the TARDIS, it would jumpstart the main console like a broken down car. In the corner of the TARDIS main console room was a medium-sized chest. Inside, the orange spacesuit he has owned for millennia. He put it on, getting ready for a consequential mission. However, he was hopeful. He grabbed an oversized tube connected to the main console, and then in a brief moment, or as people like to say, the calm before the storm, the Doctor took a deep breath in. He opened the doors. The violent energy of the time vortex made it difficult for the Doctor to move. It was too strong, and the Doctor needed to get closer to gain enough energy to jumpstart the TARDIS. He grabbed hold of the corner of the exterior, reaching out as much as he could. The tube was now gaining energy, but as this was happening, the Doctor's grip was slowly going. Nearly there. Come on! Then, with one final push, he reached out slightly further to gain as much vortex energy as possible, but he lost his grip. He let go of the exterior, falling out of the TARDIS. The Doctor, however, kept hold of the tube, but he was losing his grip more and more. The tube was not strong enough material to keep hold. It was too late. The Doctor let go and hurtled through the time vortex. He watched as the tube went back into the main console room, the doors closed, and the exterior began to dematerialise. He was a Doctor without a TARDIS, hurtling through the terrifying regions of time and space. Thinking that it was over, the Doctor closed his eyes and hoped that he would land anywhere. Tumbling forever and ever was what it seemed like to be from now on. But as luck, or perhaps fate, would have it, he materialised with an unceremonious thud on solid ground. He groaned, rubbing his helmet, and then pushed himself upright. Thank heavens. Not the smoothest of landings. The Doctor took in his surroundings. He stood in the middle of a desolate, mist-shrouded island. The air was thick, with an eerie, unworldly silence. The Doctor looked around. He decided to take off his helmet, thinking that he was safe. He breathed in the air, which was confusing to him, a form of air he's never breathed in before. He began to walk around, hoping to find something or someone, but the thick mist was making it difficult for the Doctor to see. Suddenly, one singular step he made next caused a rumble on the ground. He looked behind and noticed that the mist began to clear. He walked over to the more clearer view to navigate where he was, but as he eventually found out, he instantly regretted it. It wasn't just any island, it was an island that has been plucked out of time and space and left to wither away. Chunks of rock slowly fading from existence piece by piece, and it was gradually creeping towards him. Noticing the problem, the Doctor without any reluctancy turned and moved the other way, hoping to find something in the other direction. The Doctor walked further, breathing in the strange air, but it was making him nervous. The short-term relief of living has now turned into fear and multiple thoughts of regret. However, he saw something, far in the distance, within the thick mist to his left. He saw a cluster of dilapidated circus tents, their once colourful canvas now faded and torn, repaired in some fashion to traditional red and white colours. The whole area seemed to be trapped in a perpetual state of Halloween. Pumpkins and eerie lanterns lined the path, casting flickering, ghostly shadows. The Doctor then remembered that it was Halloween. Convenient timing, as he would say. It was one of his favourite times of the year. Horror films, late-night terrors, ghost stories, seasonal food. It was a pure thriller. But what was in front of him didn't bring any major joy to him. It filled him with uncertainty and distress. But as always, curiosity piqued. The Doctor headed towards the circus. As he approached, the sound of laughter and calliope music echoed through the air. The circus seemed alive, or as if the thick mist was speaking to him. The entrance to the circus was adorned with an enormous pumpkin carved with a grotesque grinning face. It was a pumpkin like no other, with eyes that seemed to follow the Doctor's every move. He shrugged it off and pushed through the tattered curtains into the heart of the circus. Someone clearly let themselves go. But definitely got the Halloween spirit though. Inside, it was total blackness, something the Doctor felt familiar with. But suddenly a bizarre spectacle unfolded before his eyes. Spotlights turned on directly to the centre and heart of the circus. The ringmaster appeared, looking directly at the Doctor. The ringmaster was a tall, gangly figure with a top hat, dressed in a well-fitted tailcoat. However, the most obvious thing to point out was his head. It was an oversized pumpkin, complete with a wicked grin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Cirque De I'Existence.
The pumpkin-headed ringmaster bellowed in a booming voice that sent shivers down the Doctor's spine. The Doctor watched as the bizarre circus acts played out before him. Acrobatic dancers twisted and contorted their bodies in unnatural ways, clowns with pumpkin heads cackled demonically, and a 10-foot man juggled pumpkins instead of bowling pins. It was all surreal and unsettling, like a dream gone horribly wrong. As he wandered deeper into the circus, the Doctor noticed that the other circus goers seemed strangely entranced, as if they couldn't tear their eye away from the spectacle. He walked up to a family who had an eerie smile. He snapped his fingers in front of them, hoping to distract them, or even make them blink. They were as still as mannequins. I usually like to watch the horror films and not be a part of them. And then he realised the truth. The island, the circus, everything was designed to keep him there. To make him wither away just like the decaying landscape around him. A distraction for the impending doom that was soon to arrive. The Doctor then ran down to the centre of the circus, moving past all of the acts and keeping his attention on one creature, the ringmaster. Quite the elaborate trap you've set up here, must say I'm impressed. The ringmaster's grin widened. It looked so demonic it grotesqued the Doctor out.
You are a clever one. I'd hoped you'd find out slightly sooner.
The ringmaster then began to walk around the Navy Doctor, slowly keeping direct eye contact on him and not breaking it.
This island, this circus, it's home to us.
The Navy Doctor grinned. Not really much of a home that is slowly withering away. You've really let your home go, I must say. Maybe call an insurance company.
You've got a sense of comedy. Soon you'll be joining us.
The Navy Doctor moved closer to the ringmaster as if he was looking for a fight. I think that's very unlikely. The ringmaster then moved away, turning his back towards the Doctor.
And now, time for the main event, which you've been waiting for.
The spotlight suddenly turned towards a wheel. A spinning wheel, with multiple colours and bulbs flashing bright lights in different sequences. However, that is not what drew the attention. He saw someone strapped to the wheel. Someone very close to the Navy Doctor. Luna Wilson, his companion. Air Force pilot who he recently dropped off back at Earth. She was clueless of her surroundings.
Nice seeing you again, mate. Not nice seeing them in the circus, though.
The Doctor stood there in complete terror. He was like a shell-shocked soldier in a battlefield. The ringmaster walked closer towards the Doctor, guiding him to a covered cloth table.
You're gonna be a part of this event,
said the ringmaster in a brutal voice. It was as if the words are piercing the doctor's soul and mental stability. If you dare think that I'm going to be a part of this! The ringmaster picked up a knife and flipped it, showing off towards the crowd. He then offers it towards the doctor. The demonic grin has now resurfaced.
I'd recommend you throw them. My aim is not quite accurate.
The Navy doctor stepped away, looking at utter shock towards the ringmaster. I can't. I won't! The Navy doctor looked down towards the ground in disbelief and terror.
Doctor, I've seen this sort of game before.
Luna said in a panicking voice. The ringmaster held the knife in his hand. He then flipped it again and turned towards Luna.
Very well then.
The crowd behind the ringmaster cheered him on. He raised the knife next to his pumpkin head, aiming for Luna directly, sabotaging the main act. No! The doctor rushed over and pushed the ringmaster as he threw the knife. The knife went completely off target. Well, the ringmaster's target.
Not sportsmanlike at all.
The ringmaster rushed up towards the Navy doctor, getting very close towards him.
Throw that knife and kill your companion.
The Navy doctor took the knife and he throws it towards the ground. The metal clang of the knife makes the crowd around him go silent. I left Luna a long time ago. This circus, feeding off my thoughts, I will not do such acts. Luna then disappeared from the wheel, fading like a ghost. The doctor moved to the centre of the circus. The spotlights moved to him. The whole act is a distraction, a method of keeping me here until the island withers away. The ringmaster moved closer towards the doctor. The demonic grin is no longer present, instead a face filled with disappointment and sadness.
You can't escape, Doctor.
Oh, I believe I will. You see, I have this trick, ironically, an act which I only surprisingly just thought of now. Would you like to know what it is? The ringmaster's face was filled with confusion, the audience around him moving like puppets, and also moving in a sense of bewilderment. I call this the blue box. The doctor takes out his Tardis key. The Tardis is then heard to dematerialise around the doctor. The bright blue lamp flashing and igniting the ground, whilst the windows materialised into existence. The doctor smiled as he slowly faded into the Tardis. The ringmaster rushed towards the Tardis with pure anger.
No!
The Navy doctor rushed around his console, noticing that the trick with the vortex energy worked. The Tardis power was now reactivated. He rushed around, gleaming with excitement and relief. Always had some form of hope it would work. He then pulled the dematerialisation lever. The Tardis began to take off. The ringmaster backed away in disappointment, but suddenly the withering island caught up in time with the circus. Life was fading around the ringmaster. The only thing left was his demonic smile, before he too faded and withered away. After a few minutes, the Navy doctor changed out of his orange spacesuit, but whilst he was changing back into his regular suit, he couldn't help but wonder, how did that circus even exist in the first place? The mysteries of time and space were vast, and it seemed that there were always new enigmas to unravel. He then noticed something, which brought him joy. The navigation system was fixed, hence why he was able to reach him using the key. With a determined smile, he set the TARDIS on a new course. But, as on the spirit of Halloween, he sat down, materialised a bowl of popcorn, and began to watch a horror film. This time he was more feeling slasher. Scream, to be exact. He's already dealt with enough supernatural stuff for one day.